Hey everybody, Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 on my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page and soon to be on my YouTube channel at Bill Hobart. This is a 99% clairvoyant reading, and if you're here live, please say hello when you come into the room. Hi Haley. And if you're watching this live or watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Please like my videos. Please leave me a comment, even if it's just hi Bill. Because when you do that, YouTube will actually use their algorithms to send Coaching for the Soul around the planet to people who need a little bit more Coaching for the Soul. So that would be great if you do that for me. I'm okay, Haley. How's about you? Yes, dreams are crazy. Everything right now is extremely energetic. Hi, Amanda. How are you? Hi, Kelly. What's going on, girl? What's going on? Thanks for joining me today for my Thursday sessions, as you might call it. Yeah. Allison Strange, how's it going? Allison is having all kinds of ascension cool stuff. All of us are, right? But Allison's like, oh my God, Bill, WTH. Right? What the hell? Yeah. Hi, Alexis. How you doing? What's going on, girl? Everything's good? There you go, Kelly. I love yous. Make a difference. Talk to spirit. She's saying, I'm talking to spirit and telling myself I love me. Exactly. Yep. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly. Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about today. We'll see how many more people pop in here. Alexis, we're working too much. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I know that feeling. Hi, Kathy. How's it going for you today? Yeah, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things, I think. I actually have a list of things we have to talk about because he told me to make a list today. So we have a lot of lists. You know, who knows? Yeah. Yep. You know, Amanda's decluttering. That's good. Get rid of your stuff. Get rid of your junk. Get rid of your stuff, guys. That's what you got to do. Purge away. Hi, Pat. Purge. Get rid of all your junk, all your stuff. Yep. Hey, Joe. How's it going? Yes, now's the time to get rid of your stuff. Okay? It's January. It's a brand new year. It's time to clear your house out of your stuff and put it in a freaking garbage bag and take it to Salvation Army or Goodwill or throw it in the garbage. Who cares? Hey, Michelle. Oh, Joe, I'm glad you get to watch today. You're done with school already? Or you're out of school today? Joe's a teacher. Yeah. Yep. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. She likes the color of my shirt. It looks kind of blue, but it's actually green. Kind of different. Kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. So, I think Kimberly said her bedroom is still clean. Took long enough, Spirit just said, but keep it clean. That's a bonus. Yeah. Yep. Because you have to understand, everybody, that when you have stuff everywhere, if you don't have a clean house, if you don't have a clean bedroom, if you don't have a clean anything, that's dysfunction. That's energy that you do not want, especially in your bedroom, because that's your sanctuary, right? But any place in your house, if you have, if there's dishes in the sink, if your bathroom's not clean, if there's stuff all over your living room, whatever, that stuff breeds dysfunction because all that energy gets caught up in it. Yeah. Yep. So it's super, super important to keep your place as clean as possible. I mean, with kids and pets, you can only do so much, right? Hey, Dorothy. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Trust me, my house isn't always clean. People are like, Bill, I can't believe your house isn't clean. It's clean, but it's not clean. You know, stuff's picked up, but it's not wiped down and cleaned up and things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what that's all about. Okay, let's start. Okay. First thing we're going to talk about today is releasing yourself from other people. What does that mean? Okay. As we go through this ascension process, right? You're going to leave people. You're going to push, you can say, okay, that's good, thanks. It's going to be family, friends. We talked about this a million times, right? But Spirit really wants to bring it home today because there's a lot of energy going on right now. There's so much energy that is pushing and pulling us. And, hey, Leanne. And so it is super, super important. It's super, super important, Spirit says, that that we, number one, take care of ourselves. Okay? What does that look like? It means drinking lots of water. It means getting some exercise. In Michigan, it's tough in the wintertime, although it's not really been winter, but we really kind of hibernate in January, December, November, okay? So getting some exercise and eating whole foods, okay? You've got to drink, and got to drink enough water. And you have to do meditations, okay? Guys, if you're not doing meditations, I'm telling you, if you're not doing guided meditations at least twice a week, okay? All that energy is in your body. It's attached to your body. It is completely going to bog you down and you're going to be exhausted, okay? Right now that we are in this quantum leap energy for the second year in a row, right? We're moving faster than we've ever moved before into fifth dimensional energy, right? We all have talked about that. Understanding you have to take care of you. You have to take care of you and make sure that you are focusing in on yourself, okay? And what does that look like? As you go and you do that, what happens for you is people start to wonder, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with him? He's changing. She's changing. He's becoming this. She's becoming that. And that's ascension, right? We all want it. We just don't know what it looks like. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's about understanding that as you leave, because you're leaving, okay? Understand that. Everyone on the planet who's ascending, who's going into higher dimensional energy, is leaving what they've known. And Spirit, I know. I surrendered years ago. Not 100%, right? But we have to surrender to that knowing that, okay, they're going to take care of us, right? They've got our back. They're never going to make you need. You'll always have money for the things that you need. You'll always have this for what you need. You'll always have this for what you need. All of this and this and this and this and this, right? But it's about understanding that, because I post a lot of things on Facebook and Insta, like you guys all know that I do. And it is sitting with yourself, being okay with yourself. It's lonely. It's lonely as hell. But it has to be lonely. Why? Because as you sit with yourself, you're cutting off the energy and influence from other people that might be muggles or are tied to your dysfunction, that are tied to your childhood, that are tied to your teenage years, are tied to your 20s, your 30s, whatever it might be. Okay? Us old guys have a lot of stuff that we're tied to. So as we move away from that, as we do, okay, you have to understand that it's lonely. Why is it lonely? It needs to be so that you sit with yourself, not in pity, not in, oh my gosh, I don't understand, because a lot of people go there. I never did because I didn't feel the need in that. I was okay with it. Now, I wasn't okay with not working in a traditional job, right? That was my really good friend because that's what I've always done since I was 12. So understanding that as we lose relationships, as we lose friendships, as we lose jobs, right? Because a lot of us, I can say that I used to be, okay? I'm a Capricorn and I worked since I was 12 years old and I worked hard and diligently and made lots and lots and lots of money. Made lots of money where I never needed anything, okay? And so understanding that that's who I used to be. But in the past 2-3 years, I'm not the person, especially since COVID, right? I mean, not at all. But as you leave these people, there's residual energy there, okay? On their part, on your part. Because what's going to happen is ego's going to tug on that heartstring and go, oh my God, you've known her since childhood, since you were 9. Oh my God, Bill, you've known him since you were 5. Okay, I get it, but I don't understand it, but yet I do understand it. My human goes, but WTF, my spiritual person, who's 90% of my body, says, Bill, it's fine. You know, it's fine. They moved on, you moved on. Bill, it's no big deal. And I will just say this, that I realized that yesterday. I was with my best friend who just moved back from Florida, and it was awkward. He's really changed, and I've really changed. Still my best friend. I'll love him forever, right? But I know it's okay when we move. And that's why he moved to Florida for a year, so that I could cut that cord to him. Same thing they did with my sister in 2019. Okay? They have the plan, everybody. We don't. So as we go through losing people, as we go through letting people go, understanding that it has to be that way because you're not the same person anymore. Okay? You're going to lose lots and lots of friends. You're going to lose family members who don't understand that you don't have anything in common anymore. All we have in common is our childhood dysfunction or our family's dysfunction. And as you leave that energy, as you go into higher dimensional energy, fifth dimension, right? You lose it. You work through it, you let it go, because that is what it's all about. That is where we're going. And so it can be very trying. It can be very, very trying. But I'm telling you, as we go through 2023, you got to drink more water. Okay? You have to eat whole foods. You have to get a little bit of exercise, right? And you got to do meditations. Because understanding, and I've said this before, we're leaving our third dimensional selves behind. And if you're young, God bless you, because you didn't bring a lot of past life energy with you. I'm talking about people in their 20s, right? But other than that, from 30s, 40s on up, we brought energy and remembrances and stuff from past lives. Why? Because our soul, ooh, I got chills. Our soul chose this lifetime to get rid of that shit. But how do we let it go? We do it by drinking enough water, getting some exercise, eating whole foods, doing guided meditations, understanding that when I do a Steve Noble guided meditation, because that's the only ones that I know of, right? Besides maybe one or two others that I might have posted. But the majority of them are Steve Noble guided meditations because they clear off energy on the outside of your body, on the inside of your body, and you feel lighter. It helps you to release trauma, okay? Because right now, trauma is loosening. It's softening right now. Why? So you can release it. So you can release it. That's what is so, I just think it's so freaking cool. I think it's so freaking cool that as I know, hang on. Yeah, okay. We're going to go into that in a minute. He wants me to hurry up. So it's like, I'm channeling my guides, right? My guides, and many times they'll be conflicted. One will be talking and it'll all be good, and then from the background I'll hear move along, and I'll say wait, and I'll have to say well what? And I'll say in my head, right? Okay, I don't understand. We're doing, and it's like it's the battle of the guides in my spiritual self. It's so interesting. I don't know what that's about. We gotta find out because it's very confusing to me. Okay? So trauma is loosening. It's softening. Why? So we can let it go. So it's not as intense as it used to be, let's say a month ago, or last year, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Okay? So it's, I know. So it's kind of like a song that you loved, right? So that you're like, oh my God, I love that song. And then you hear it now and you go, okay, now I'm not really emotional tied to it anymore. Bonus. Because that song was tied to something emotional. And they have removed the emotion to that song. So you're not emotional to it anymore. Another step up into 5D. See? It's all tied together, Spirit says, with twine. It is all tied together with twine, not cords, with twine. Okay? And that's because if you want to cut the twine, you want to pull something out and get rid of it, you can tighten up the twine. That's true. Okay? It's very, 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 very true. So as you lose people, as you go through, because your trauma is softening, they're bringing it up. He says, it's kind of like marshmallows. Okay? Nice, soft marshmallows. And the thing they want you to do is take those marshmallows and throw them away. Just those big marshmallows, right? Throw them away. The thing you eat s'mores with, right? Throw them away. Just throw them away. So again, guys, the way that the way that you release the trauma, right, is when you're doing a Steve Noble guided meditation, and he talks about emotional things, picture yourself taking the marshmallows, right, and throwing them away. That's the way that you can engage in the meditation. Okay, so picture that in your mind's eye, right? Picture that you're taking the marshmallows out of the bag, right? And your spirit, okay. So he has me laying on the couch, right? I'm listening, which I never lay down during meditations. I want my feet on the ground. He says that. So Bill wants to sit in a chair, which I do, and I'll hold the marshmallows on my chest, right? Let's say my solar plexus, okay? I'm going to hold them down here. And I'm going to take them with my left hand. I'm going to take them and I'm going to throw them, okay? I'm throwing them, right? Because they're soft and mushy. I like to eat them, truly. But it's like, no, these symbolize how soft and supple and wonderful I am, how sweet I am inside. But they're charged from the fire, let's say. So I want to throw those away. Throw them away, throw them away. That works for me all the time. Visualizing something and attaching that feeling to it and tossing it away. When I'm doing one of Steve's quick meditations, right? I sent one to somebody today. He had me, he takes, and I take energy from here and I toss it. Take energy from here and I toss it. Energy from here and I toss it, right? And he will say spread your energy to the horizon. I'll go like this. And I'll picture it going out to the horizon. It's all about picturing what he wants you to do. Okay? If you're leaving something behind, you're getting rid of something. If you're moving forward from something, then let's say that you look back and you go, okay, it's back there. I'm walking away from it. It all ties in with your ascension. It all ties in with you being moved and not having things in common with people anymore. Okay? You just don't. And I can say that about my best friend, is that we have nothing in common anymore. We've known each other our entire lifetime. Okay? He's one of my family. He's part of my family, truly. And I'm part of his. But we're not the same anymore. As I've grown in a different direction, that he's grown into something different than what he was before he left for Florida. See? So again, the culture shift, right? He went to Florida for a reason, to become that person. I have done what I'm doing, and you have too, to become a different person, because we're led in that direction, right? So as we're led in that direction of eating better, drinking more water, loving ourselves, right? All of those things, noticing that when a song doesn't resonate with us anymore, we go, oh my gosh, I've changed. Yeah, I used to love that song. Well, guess what? The emotion's not tied to it anymore. Bonus. They've done their job. They've removed that emotion, that energy from your heart, and you didn't even know that it happened. That's what is so fabulous, is that as you go through this ascension, as you truly hit those benchmarks, I'm telling you, document it. Document those benchmarks. Today, I heard a song and it didn't resonate with me anymore. Yeah. It means you're healed. That part of yourself is healed. And how did you heal yourself? Doing guided meditations, right? All that stuff, what I find fascinating about his meditations, all the little quirky noises in the meditation all take you to different dimensions, all clear you out. There's a reason why that music is there as he's speaking. All those little things. It's truly God sent. It is truly God sent to help you ascend, get out of your humanness. And all of us are going through that. I get messages every day from people. They're like, Bill, this was going on. This was going on. This is freaking cool. Yes, it is. Or Bill, I can't sleep. I'm having all kinds of anxiety. Okay, so what are you doing for yourself? Again, drinking lots of water, eating the right food, getting a little bit of exercise, doing your meditations. And most of the time, no, I'm not really doing any meditations. Well, how are you going to release the energy that's pumping through your body as they lift you up in ascension? That's what we have to understand, right? There's a purpose for everything, Spirit says. There's a purpose for everything. And what human needs to do is they need to recognize it. We got to recognize it out loud, right? Got to, right? Spirit, that is so freaking cool. I can't believe that happened. Yeah. He gets it. She gets it. That's what the deal is, okay? And that goes into deepening our heart intuition. Because as your heart gets clear, as your heart gets fabulously clean, Spirit says, heart intuition. What is that, right? Looking at something with a full intention. Looking at it and going, okay, I feel it here. And I talk about that all the time, right? Is that I got it. Okay, so what this heart intuition is the changing of your negative ego to positive, Spirit says. Boom. Because ego is tied to your heart, right? It's tied to here too, but your heart, big time. This can get us to do pretty much anything, good or bad. So that is absolutely fantastic. Is that as we clear ourselves, as we are more intentional on our heart intuition, which is clear, right? It's clear. Not 100%, but it's better than it was a year ago, right? That all of a sudden your ego shifts from being a negative ego and starting to go into the positive ego space. And that makes sense. Total sense. So as you start to feel things in your heart area, like I always say that Spirit will give you messages one or two ways. They'll either make your heart big, like full of emotion, right? Like, oh my God, but you're not crying. You're just feeling it. It's them going, okay, they're not open to us yet. They're not talking enough to us yet. They're not asking us for enough stuff yet. They're not asking us to help them. They're not proclaiming that a thank you for all green lights or fast food, right? Or anything that benefits you. Those are thank yous. And Spirit says, you can complain and bitch all you want to, which is fine. You can do that, but it's not going to change the situation. So why do it? You let out that energy, which is awesome. But when you get stuck on something, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. See? All it does is bring in that negative energy. Always remember, positive out, positive back. Negative out, negative back. That works in every situation, everywhere, all the time. Okay? That if I go into a situation, just a daily life, with a negative vibration, a lower vibration, right? I'm going to have a pretty crappy day. Got to be conscious. Now, does that mean that when you work with people, you have to protect yourself and you have to understand that, okay, again, having a conversation with yourself out loud, like, okay, Bill, this next client is kind of tough. Okay, this next client is she usually is like this, and blah, blah, blah. So we got to make sure that we keep our energy up, that our vibration is good, that we're that loving, caring person that we always are, and do not allow them to change the vibration of the reading, change the vibration of the conversation, because that's what they're used to. And the amazing thing is, this one person, probably one of the best readings we ever had last week, ever, in 2 years. Because I was prepared not to let her energy, which truly shifted, okay? And I think she was, Bill, I love talking to you. You always change my perception on things. Now, how do we change our perception of things? By talking out loud to ourselves. Right? I had the conversation with myself, again, in the bathroom, in the shower, wherever it was. Like, okay, Bill, she's our first person of the day. We have to make sure that we are prepared, that we are connected, that we ask Spirit to make sure that everything in the reading goes good, that we keep our energy up, because guess what? I control my energy with anybody in my room. Same to you. You do also. Your husband, your children, your wife, whatever, your partner, it doesn't matter. But if you go into something with a positive vibration, you're going to affect everything in your house. Your plants, your children, your pets, everything. Your partner, your husband, your wife, your children, their friends, whatever. You'll probably become, if you have kids, you'll probably be the most popular house in the neighborhood, not because they could do anything that they want to, but because the kids are going to attach themselves to the energy. As will your children, as will your partner, as will your husband or your wife. It's very, very, very important. Okay? So, and it's truly easy to do. It is truly easy to do having self-talk, talking to yourself out loud. Okay? Remembering that every time you talk to yourself in third person, your soul hears it. Okay? And what part of your body is your soul? Your spine. With all your chakras and all of your nerve endings. Your body will pop up. It will straighten up. Oh my gosh, he's talking to me. He's talking to us. Yes. And I have conversations with myself all the time. All the time. I'll answer myself. Some people find that kind of different, kind of weird. Okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you what, it keeps my vibration up. It keeps everything clear. Makes sense to me, and that's all I care about. Does it make sense to me? Can I get a clear vision, a clear answer? And usually I can. Okay? Usually I can. Because the thing about being clairvoyant is you don't have conversations with Spirit all the time. You don't. You have a conversation once in a while, but not that often. When it's something that's important, yes. When it's something that is that they're ready to talk about, yes. But daily conversations, not that often. Not that often. See? Because you still have to be human. You still have to be human. You still have to live your life every day. You still have to understand that the world we live in is still semi-3D. And we feel awkward in that space. And we many, many times, we don't know what to do in those times unless we ask. Again, I do it all the time, right? I'm not talking to Spirit. I mean, I'll talk to Spirit about stuff, right? But if I let's just say I'm irritated about something in the house. Now, there's two beings that live in my house. And it will be, okay, Bill, if you let that frustration out, right, they're going to take it wrong. So Bill, let it go. It's not the big deal, but let it go. And I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll be saying it out loud. Probably in the bathroom or maybe the living room, or if they're not in my portion of the house, then that would be when I would say it out loud. Because I get good answers that way. And as I'm asking myself, Bill, do you really want to? The energy frustration goes away. See? Because it just does. because I trust myself. See, I trust myself. And that's what it's all about. Again, it's one more chapter, Spirit says. It's one more link. It's one more everything to getting you into the place and beyond that you're supposed to be. And that's what's important, right? That's what's important, that we grow every day, that we, and again, we may not even know that we're growing, but being consistent on talking out loud to our spirit guides, asking for what we want, complaining when we need to complain about Mercury retrograde just ended, right? On the 18th. And for me, I was blessed enough to keep myself above the energy. Thank God for my freaking quantum healer, Brenda, because this is the first Mercury retrograde in Capricorn that I have never not felt. I was up here. And I acknowledge that. Not only is it her, but it's me being conscious that I need to keep my vibration above the fray, above the stuff. Did things go wrong? Yeah. Did I get frustrated? Nope, not at all. Not doing it. I'm not investing in that frustration. Okay? And I'm telling you, everybody, you'll be there too. Okay? You'll be there too. May not seem like it now, because this is the first Mercury retrograde in my life of 63 years that I haven't felt extremely intently. And that's because I put too much energy into it. Okay? That, oh, that's what that is, as my vibration dropped. Oh, that's because of Mercury retrograde. Oh, because again, I'm putting energy in Mercury retrograde. So I'm actually supporting it, which I never really understood, but now I do. It's like anything. It's like anything. The reason that I don't have what I want is because of blah, 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 blah. The reason I don't have blah, 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 blah. The reason I don't have my house yet is because of blah, 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 blah. It's somebody else's fault. It's because I don't have the money. So I don't have the money. I got a job that doesn't pay me enough money. Negative, 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 negative. Your vibration is in the freaking pit. Why? Change it. As soon as you change that energy, as soon as you change that vibration, and you allow yourself with ease to raise up, everything you want comes true. Eventually. And we have to keep ourselves focused on that. That there is no time in spirit. What does that mean? There's no time in spirit. They don't go by a clock. They don't go by a calendar. Right? All they know is the benchmarks that you're going to hit in your future. Because the people, the beings, let's say, that know everything about you, your spirit guides, and your soul. Human does not. And never will. It's not our job this lifetime. Now, that doesn't mean that when we get into 5D, we won't know exactly what our life is supposed to be. Because I believe, truly, from what Spirit has said and in my heart, that that is the discovery we're supposed to make when we get there. Okay? And the beautiful transformation, the travel, Spirit says, the travel of going from third dimension for most of your life, us old people, right? 40s and up, into this brand new world, this brand new earth. And we still have the remembrance, the treasures of the stuff that we went through to get to this point. We will no longer look at them as being tragedies. We will no longer look at them as being trauma. We will look at them as being, yeah, that happened to me. Okay. And that's why I'm who I am today, because of that. Because of that right there. This, and this. Right? And it doesn't hurt anymore. Why? Because your trauma is softening. Why? So they can take it away from you while you're sleeping, while you're meditating, while you're doing nonchalant things that you're not paying attention to anything. Spirit says the days of most of us being challenged are past emotionally. That doesn't mean that if you didn't do your work or you're new to this, right? That you're not going to go through the same thing that we all went through. Releasing that stuff that no longer serves us. And knowing what it is. It doesn't do me any good to think about what happened to me when I was 25. at 63. Let it go. It doesn't do me any good to think about what happened to me when I was 12 at 63. Again, did it bother me at 40 and 45? Yeah, bothered me a lot until probably the last 2 years, 3 years, as I healed myself from that. Again, quantum healing, Steve Noble guided meditations, talking to spirit, right? Giving my life and going, okay, you know what? You got the freaking plan. I do not. And I'm tired of trying to figure out the plan because I'm never going to find out. So why put my energy in that? Again, I could be upset about not being in my house in Kihei, Maui. I was for probably 4.5 years. Till the middle of last year, let it go, Bill. You're going to get there when you get there, which is true. Which is true. See, it's on my TV. I watch it every day. I love it. I know we're going to be there sometime soon. Give it up to them. Because me worrying about it, me being upset about not being there, upset about being in Detroit still in the wintertime, it's not a bad winter so far. God bless it, right? Everything. It doesn't do us any good to think about what we want as we stomp our feet and act like we're 12 years old because we didn't get what we want, what we wanted in our time. Because all they do is go, okay, when he gets done with his temper tantrum, he'll be okay. Again, talk about the spirit. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Throw a few F words in there. Whatever it takes to get you to release that energy and go, what does that get me? Nothing. You're reinforcing who you used to be. It's okay. But as we go into 2023, it's already the 19th of the month already. It just was New Year's. I mean, it is flying so fast because of quantum leap, right? We are moving at a speed that our bodies are not used to. We're moving at a speed in energy that our humanness is just going along for the ride, right? Because that makes us more tired. That makes us more foggy. It makes us where we can't really connect to things. And all kinds of different things happen to us depending on the person. Yeah, see? But it's about allowing and flowing. And I don't know how many videos I've watched. I think I posted 1 or 2 on Facebook this past week. Maybe it was, today's Thursday, sometime this week, that I was blown away by because they talked about flow. You have to be able to flow, and you have to flow, right? Flow is activation. Allowing yourself to flow by getting yourself out of the damn way. Stop thinking about all the stuff that's wrong. Ask them for change in what you want. New job, more money, new partner, new lover, new car, new house, new sailboat, a second house, whatever you want, ask. Ask. That's what you need to do. If you're frustrated, it doesn't get you anywhere. But lowering your vibration to a place that doesn't bring you anything but yuck. But yuck. And understanding that you're going to get everything that you want eventually. Everything that you want eventually. But the more that you push, why don't I have it yet? Energy drops. Because what you want is coming in higher dimensional energy, right? Excitement and flow, and you're allowing it. And all of a sudden, ego kicks in like, how come I haven't had it yet? I don't understand why am I not in Maui yet? I don't get it. Blah, 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 blah. Where's my money? I don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. You told me 4 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. You told me when I was 12. Blah, 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 blah. We told you too much. See? We should have let it just continue on and not tell you everything that you were told. Either in a dream, clairvoyantly, from somebody else, like a reader, whatever. See? We go searching for knowledge so we can manipulate it into getting what we want, Spirit says, which is true. Okay? It doesn't work. Because that's third dimensional thinking. That's survival. That is survival, okay? So the next thing we want to talk about, because it kind of ties in, right? Do what you did not get to do in childhood. What does that mean? Do what you couldn't do in childhood. Now, does that mean eat the food you want to eat? Yeah. So you don't want it anymore, right? Does that mean going on vacation? Yeah. Does that mean being able to have fun and play, right? Is it letting all those things that stopped you in childhood from you being able to do the things you wanted to do? Yes. Yes. Is it listening to different music that you wanted to listen to that you couldn't? Does it mean that you'd love to go to the movies and you couldn't go, right? All the things from your childhood, Spirit says, he gave me this about 2:30, everything from your childhood that you did not get to do right now will nurture you. Okay? It will heal that part of yourself that I never got to do, blah, 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 blah. I was blessed as a child. I'm blessed now. I mean, truly, that I had money. I've been working since I was 12 years old, right? Had the paper out in Jackson, where I grew up. And I made $300 a month in 1972. I was rich. I was rich. Rich. I could have anything that I wanted, right? And I pretty much got everything that I wanted. And I continued on to who I am today, right? But the one thing that I never got excited about was amusement parks. I never let myself have fun because every time that I thought about it was going to be so exciting and so fun, I was always let down by the experience. The 12,000-year-old Capricorn, been there, done that. But the human, the child, right? I wanted to do that and have fun like everybody else, but I didn't attach myself to it because I'm like, it's just going to be another letdown. So why invest in it? How negative is that, right? Yes. So what I've done in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right, is for me, it was about, in my past, was about working really hard every day. Well, in the career I have now, it's natural, right? Working with me was natural too. But in the position that I'm in now is I don't have to work 60 hours a week to make my money. I don't have to work, do the job of 2 people every day. No, I don't have to. Last week, crazy week. Crazy week. Week before that, crazy week. Was I complaining a little bit? Yeah, I'm certain I'm freaking tired. I'm doing 6 readings a day. That's a lot, right? I mean, that's a lot of energy that I'm putting out there, right? And this week I've had 1. In the past, I would have been freaking the hell out. No. No, I'm not doing that. Okay? That's not what it's about. It's a difference from last year and the years past to this year. No, it doesn't serve me to even think about that, and I haven't. So what I've done for myself is not work so hard. Time to chill. Today's the only day that I didn't have to get up and do something for somebody else. Only day. Tomorrow's good too. Nobody else. So I had to tell myself that, right? On Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. See? Bill, Thursday you don't have to do this for anybody. Nothing. You have nothing to do. That made me go, all right, I get it. I get it. Now, would I have worried about that last year? Of course I would have. Yes. As all of us do, right? Because when do I get a break? When do I get a break? When do I get a break, Bill? When do I get a break? I don't know. You cannot imagine how many times people say that to me when I'm having conversations with them. Bill, when do I get a freaking break? Well, when you take a break. When you take a break and go, okay, you know what? These are my boundaries. This is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. I can no longer let you run on top of me. I can no longer let my children speak to me in a certain way. I cannot allow this to happen, No, again, you're standing up for yourself. You're putting boundaries out there so that they bless you with more of the stuff that you didn't get, and take away the things that no longer serve you. And you're anxious to let them go to a point until they're far enough away. You go, I don't know why is this happening anymore? I'm kind of confused. Well, guess what? Your heart, right? Your intuition and your heart is saying, let that go. You don't need that. But I don't know. I think okay. And then what happens is they cut the cord. And you don't even miss the thing that you were worried about for a week or two or 3 or 4 or 5. That's how it works. See? Again, we've talked about them distracting us, right? With all the little gold coins and all the little cool stuff to get us into ascension. The Hansel and Gretel effect, right? Doing things that you wanted to do in childhood that you couldn't when you were a child. Maybe that's riding a bike as far as you want to. Maybe that's riding a bike and getting ice cream, right? By yourself. By yourself, if it's safe. Ooh, I just got chilled on that. Yeah. See, doing things by yourself that you couldn't do as a child because of some reason, right? Either your family didn't have money and they constantly reinforce that in everyday life. They were afraid that you're going to get lost or taken or whatever. Okay? You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough. And also what we tell ourselves as we're going through that process. I've talked about this. I come from a very good-looking family. A very good-looking family. And growing up, I was always the one that wasn't noticed because I was cute. But my family is very, very good-looking. Very good-looking. My sister, my brother, my dad, whew, Lord. Mom and me, we're kind of playing. Yeah, that's okay. See? Sid, did I have to come to terms with that in my 40s and 50s? Yeah, definitely, right? Because I've grown into looking more and more like my father, which is kind of cool. I'm more like my father than I've ever been in my life, and I'm the one in the family who's most like my dad. Never thought that would happen, because I was always like my mom. But see how that changes? And I recognize that. And that is part of the ascension process, everybody, is recognizing how you've changed. Recognizing how you feel, recognizing what you attract now, that you no longer attract that. You attract that. And that's good. That's lovely. That's wonderful. That fills me. That makes me feel happy. It's cool that I'm up here now, Bill, and that no longer bothers me. That's ascension. And they do that, right? Because they know the benchmarks. They know the ascension process. We're blindly being led. And you have to tell yourself that more than once. Things feel different, Bill. Yeah. Again, I've been posting on Facebook whole this month. The energy is massive right now. And if you're not feeling it, by not sleeping, by being agitated, by things bothering you, work not going right, again, the Mercury retrograde too, right? On top of that. So understanding that the first 3.5 weeks of the month, Mercury retrograde's been in there pulling all the strings. But also we allow ourselves to be in that energy because we invest in it. But then as we come out of Mercury retrograde, I'm telling you guys, absolute positivity that by the end of March, you're going to meet different people. And you're going to be able to look back and go, oh my God, I cannot believe how much I changed since last year. Document it. Make a video. Put it on your phone. Because those are the benchmarks you want to do. They're important ones. It's when you can look back and recognize how different you are than who you were last year, who you were in 21, who you were in 20. Pandemic is 3 years old. As this March, it's 3 years old. Did it change the planet? Did it change the planet? Did it change the energy? Change the energy. In the past 3 years, how much have you grown? I've grown substantially. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy where I am now. And we're going higher. Higher and higher and higher and higher. Past 5D, everybody. Okay? What does that look like? Bliss. Having everything that we want. Life being beautiful and being lovely and being accessible, Spirit says. Accessible. Fun is accessible. Love is accessible. Money is accessible, right? The job I want is accessible. Loving ourselves, accessible. Loving our family, accessible, right? Our children, our partners, our husbands, our wives, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, whatever it might be, right? And the people that came along with us, some of our family will, right? Some will not. You have a different type of love for them. Have a different type of love for them. And that's because they're ascending too. They're ascending too. Are they at your level? No. But you can see in them how they've shifted. You can see in them how they're more invested in themselves. That I have to change myself, Bill. I understand I have to change myself. Exactly. You have to. Because Spirit says you have to accept the change, which is true. You have to accept the change, right? Because you don't have, I know. He says, there's no argument, there's no anything, you're going there. And as much as you want to stop it, as much as you want to ignore it, as much as you want to not pay attention to it, you're going there anyway. But the cool thing is, as soon as you accept where you're going, and I can tell you what, there's people on this broadcast right now that I've talked to that I know where they're going. They know where they're going. With all this cool stuff going on, like Bill, oh my God, I got the mumbles, I got freaking fairies, I've got spirit, my gosh, I've got everything going on, and it's freaking me out because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to this whole energy thing of being able to communicate, being able to do this, being able to do that, be able to do this, be able to do that, and having those conversations. Yeah. See? And the best thing you can do is sit with it. Go, this is freaking amazing. And document it. Document it. Because I'm telling you what, there's more to come. And I will tell you from my standpoint, being 9 years in this, right? 9 years this July, you forget a lot of stuff that happened to you. Why? Because they've removed it from your thought process. That's why I started writing my book about my life in 2017. They said, start writing. I'm going to write about. So I wrote a lot about my emotions and a lot about what was going on in my life. A lot of turmoil, a lot of transformation, being in retail footwear for 37 years and being the king of that, right? And coming into this environment and not knowing anything. I was a guy with a voice in my head, right? Okay, what does that mean? Well, I was kind of a muggle with a voice in my head. Now, 9 years later, it's a long process for the Capricorn, who's used to doing it quicker than anybody else does it, right? I get it. I get it. I look at my sister and go, wow, she's on her way. Anybody else in my life on their way? Nope. Which is interesting. Very interesting. See? That none of my friends are moving forward. Maybe one of them. But most of them are not. They're not moving into, they're still stuck in 3D. You know, will they ever move? I don't know. But they're thoroughly invested in that lifestyle, in not being connected. Yeah, and being who they've always been. And that's unfortunate. But it makes it easier for you to make the move. It makes it easier for you to change jobs. It makes it easier for you to find the love of your life. It means that you can actually have everything that you want. Still keep in touch, still keep in contact, it's all fine and good, right? But you're going to spend less and less time with them. On the phone, in texting, in person, because it doesn't match anymore. I realized that yesterday. It does not match anymore. Do I feel sad about that? I do, but I'm okay. I'm okay, because everything has a process. And me thinking about it, oh, no, I'm not going backwards. And he's not coming with me. Okay. Eventually may get on that and come, right? But it's not my job to stick around. It makes it easier for you to move on into fifth dimension. It makes it easier for me to move to Maui when it happens. Okay? Because I've always lived 5 hours away from my group of friends, especially my best friend. So if I needed to come home, I could hang out with him and my other friends. That's no more. My heart, my soul is already in Maui. It's already there. My life, my focus is all in my house. It's being on that island and doing my thing, and it makes me really excited inside. My inside are doing this inside. Because I know that's where we're going. Whenever. And I'm okay with where I'm at. In fact, I had a person last week, and I want you guys to really pay attention to this, is that person I've talked to before, and we were having a conversation about she's not getting what she wants in her life. And I said, well, Spirit says this is what you need to do for the third or fourth time. Not doing it, not liking it, not doing it at all. Well, Bill, nobody gets what they want. That's not true. I said, as we sit here today, I want nothing else than where I'm at. My life is great. I have a great apartment. I love Bailey to death. He's still alive at 18, right? He's failing every day, but that's okay. I know the inevitability of that, right? Lee and I, awesome, right? It's awesome. The energy in my house, awesome. My life, awesome. I have everything that I want. See? That doesn't mean that I don't want something tomorrow. Doesn't mean that I won't accept the trip to Maui, right? It doesn't mean that I won't accept money when it comes to me, because I'm open to money all the time, right? Because money will change your life. Sometimes for the better, sometimes not so good. Depends on if you're ready to accept the money. That's another thing. Being in a high dimensional energy with your vortex behind you, right? With all the stuff that you want inside and going, no, I deserve all that. And believing it in your heart. Why? Because your heart is clear. Your heart is clean. See? You're prepared for the delivery, Spirit says, of everything that you want. And thinking, oh my freaking God, it's true. It's true. See? It is true what they told me. It is true what Bill said. It is true what others told me. It is true what I was feeling. It is true because as it comes to you. Why? Because you have your best practices down, right? You're doing your meditations when you feel you need them without ego getting involved. That means twice a week. I'm eating the right food. I'm drinking lots of water, right? I'm taking a walk every day or every 2 days, whatever it might be. I'm going out and shoveling snow when it comes. I'm going and playing with the kids in the snow when it comes. I'm walking through the snow when it comes, right? Because maybe that's your thing. The solitude and the quiet of when it's snowing. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know what that feels like, you need to come north when it's snowing because it is probably one of the most beautiful things you will ever experience in your life is walking out in the snow as the snow is falling, day or night. It's quiet. It is absolutely quiet and loving and wonderful. And oh my God, people say, Bill, my neighbor downstairs says, Bill, why do you shovel the walks? I love shoveling snow. I love being outside in the snow. Do I like the snow? No. I just like being out in it. Right? When I'm shoveling snow, I don't know. It just makes me remind me of my childhood. Again, right? Good stuff in my childhood. I had to shovel snow when I was a kid, right? My dad's like, oh, get out there and shovel the driveway. Really? Me? Yeah, you. Your older brothers will help you, but and I would convince them to let me do the front walk and the sidewalk, and the boys could do the driveway. See? Again, that's what it's about. right, is a connection to happiness in our past and the things that we do that brings us happiness from our past. Love, support, just wonderful times that we all have something, right? We all have something, be it grandma, be it grandpa, be it aunt, be it uncle, be it the neighbor, whoever who showered us with love, who showered us with understanding. We always have someone, usually. Sometimes you don't yet when you're a kid. But again, that's what that's all about, right? That again is softening your trauma so they can take it away. It is investing in your heart intuition, right? And asking about that, asking about, why does my heart feel this big right now? Why does my heart feel really heavy right now, Spirit? What is that about? Like, I'll be talking to people, right, clients, and I'll say, wow, I've got like tons of energy in my chest right now. I've got a lot to tell you. And they'll be like, is it negative stuff? First thing they say, is it negative stuff? No, not at all. We don't talk about negative stuff. It's all positive stuff. What you have to do to get your freaking life in order so you get everything that you freaking want in this lifetime. That's not possible. Well, guess what it is? It is. Does it take time? It takes time, everybody. We all know it, right? I've been doing this for 4 years now, maybe 5. And many people have stayed with it, but many, many people have dropped off. I mean, I can watch some of the old Coaching for the Souls that I have on my laptop from 18 and 19. Those people don't even register on Facebook anymore. Why? Because they moved on. They moved on, and I moved up, right? They went this way, I went that way. That's life. That's life. When people leave, there's a reason why. Probably for the better. Because you've outgrown them, Spirit says. You don't need them anymore. They no longer serve me. And I state that a lot to people. No longer serves you. Well, Bill, shouldn't I? What if I'm not? No. It's about you. It's about you. It's about you. Okay? So that hour went really fast. So as we wrap this up, as we look forward to the next week, okay? Mercury retrograde is done. It's got a 10-day waning period. The energy gets less and less every single day, okay? We have a full moon this week. I think it's on the 21st, all right, in Aquarius. And it is a supermoon, okay? Oh, it's full or not? I'm confused. I'm way up here right now, so it's hard for me to pay attention on that stuff. But all that energy is building. By the end of this month, the end of January, everybody, Uranus goes direct. New moon on Saturday, Sherry says. Yes, okay, so new moon, new supermoon, okay? So Uranus, the planet of war, the planet of change, the planet of fuck you, sorry guys, that's what Uranus does to everybody, because it's new energy, it's new change, it's new everything, right? It goes direct this month. It means there's only one planet left that is in retrograde, and it goes forward next month. So out of the 6 planets we've had since last July, everybody, we'll all be marching forward by the end of March. And that is going to change your life for the better. So you got to prepare for it, right? Get ready, okay? Because you need to allow yourself to be brought with the energy. If you're heavy, it's going to take them hard. It's going to take them longer, and need more spirits to lift your butt up and move you forward. So start talking out loud. Start asking what you want. Start doing your guided meditations. Start drinking your water. Start getting your exercise. Start taking care of yourself. Like Nancy says, march on. That's it. You have to allow yourself to be picked up and moved. And you can't do that when you're stuck in an emotional place that does not allow you or them to move you forward. Okay? So I'm doing readings this weekend. If anybody needs a reading on Saturday, I've got some available. If not, that's cool. Element packages are still available, and I'm going to talk about that. Maybe we'll do a video about that, because I'm trying to put it a different way so people can understand it, because sometimes people don't. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. So namaste, everybody. And I'll see you next Thursday at 3 o'clock. Oh, I know what I want to ask you guys too. If you would please, once I post a video onto YouTube, if you'd please go to YouTube and put a comment down, all right? I would appreciate it. The video from 2 weeks ago got over 1,000 views because of that, okay? I was getting messages from people that are first-time people watching the videos, okay? And you guys helped me out with that by going over there and just saying, hey, Bill, or whatever you want to do, because you've already seen the video, unless you want to watch it again. So that would fill my heart if everybody would do that for me, okay? If you need something, let me know, 248-310-7689. You know I'm always available. After 7 o'clock might be tough, but but usually if I'm just hanging out, you may get an answer, okay? Yeah, I think that's good. So namaste, everybody, like I said before, and I'll see you next Thursday at 3 o'clock on Bill Clairvoyant for Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3.